Hello, this is Cronin. Welcome to this tutorial of Tidal Tempest for Sonic CD 2011 version, playing as Sonic. So, Tidal Tempest is pretty wacky. It's not like Wacky Workbench. The route is pretty interesting. There has been some recent changes for the first two, and the boss stage, is pretty precise and probably the most interesting boss fight. So yeah, let's get into it. First things first, let's check out the map. This is the first part of the stage. Also, I guess I should say props to Tara Espers, who made this map for Sonic Center. You can also find maps for any video game at VG Atlas. It's vgmaps.com, I believe. Yes, it is. Anyway, so for this stage, let's actually zoom out. Wow, what is this beeswax with all this freaking water, man? Is this like a water? Oh, it is a water stage. Oh no! Look at all this stuff. Look at all this path. Actually, it's even more. It's worse than that. If you fall down here, you have to jump and then jump and then jump and then jump, then jump, then jump, then jump, then jump, then jump. And that's only that part. You have to fall down here and then go here. And if you go down this tube, you have to go here. And how do you even get up here? And what? And then what about this hole? I don't know. I don't know, man. I give up. Don't give up. Because we're gonna do a little shortcut. We're going to go above the stage. Yes, that's right. We don't need a stage. We just go above it. And we're actually going to fall here and take this nice little straight portion here, this nice little runway, and get through this area. Now this part is where the interesting stuff happens, actually starting from here. And there's two different ways of doing it. The beginner strat will have you fall basically here. If you just peel out, you're just going to land here and fall. From here, you're going to want to jump over the slope carefully, hit the yellow spring, land here, and then you want to jump over, and there'll be a hidden yellow spring over here. You want to take that. If you fall sooner, just avoid the red spring so you don't, go back and forth. Then it'll send you about here. Just jump, jump, go. But that's there's still some jumping action. Why is there so much jumping? Well, the more difficult strat will involve going through time, and that will get us to the future where there's actually platforms here. And we're gonna take those platforms to just avoid this water place entirely. The problem with this time travel strat is it's kind of tricky to pull off, and in the middle of it, if you screw it up somehow, it's basically a run lost. It's a pretty bad time loss. So, well, let's see how it looks. But the first, so there's basically two tricks. There's the optional time travel trick here at the end, but the necessary trick, and this is something that even you beginners are going to have to learn, is taking this slope and jumping to the top. And it's pretty precise. It's going to be a little bit of trouble for you, but it's not that hard. And once you get it, you should be able to get it a few times more, and then pretty consistently. There's no reason why you shouldn't get this 100% consistently. It's not like Tails, where there's like questionable subpixels involved and frustration with randomness. No, should be fine. But let's watch it in motion. So I will explain the bits and pieces. You're going to start out with a spin dash, because we're actually not going to be focused about getting speed so much as getting in position. So we're going to spin dash and then jump off the slope, turn left in midair, and then peel out. Okay, so again, that's spin dash, jump off the slope, turn left in midair, and spin and peel out. That's the spin dash, peel out. And it will seem kind of risky because well, you'll see. So that, it looks like you're screwed here. You're not. You should be able to, as soon as the PLS is ready, you can let go. Because look, this tile is still functional. It's still standing. You'll have the time. So just let go and hold left. As you go up the slope, you want to jump basically where the corner, or later, so from here on, this rectangular tile, you want to hold left and jump from here. If you jump earlier, you won't have enough height to get the right bounce. But from here, if you hold left and jump, it'll send you up. Then you want to start holding right. As soon as you're in the air, deep in the air, you'll pretty much always bounce off the enemy. You're not going to have to make any weird air movements. As long as you jump from that position, if you just hold right, you'll bounce off of it, and you'll have enough height as well to get up here. You cannot make this, you cannot cut this, you cannot get up here if you don't have a bounce that could send you above the top of the screen. You'll actually just get stuck. Not like frozen, it'll keep you from pushing past the top of the screen. So let's look at that all in one motion again. Okay, and so you're just gonna hold right. Oh, let's get some music playing. So here you have there is an option to just keep on moving right, but these parts of the wall are gonna stop you, and you're just gonna have to keep on jumping over them. Whereas if you get past this line here and then just bump into it, you'll just fall. So just remember this line here, this blue line. It will be right next to the opening. So just remember, you won't have to spin dash or peel out to make any extra time here. It's not worth it at all. You'll spend more time slowing down than you get from like moving faster than just running. So just move right a little bit and then just jump right here. And there's no danger of soft locking, by the way, fortunately. If you're in this, if you're on the ceiling or down here, you should be fine. So just jump. And hey, this handy red spring is right to the left of this giant raceway. Let's use it. Run into it. Now, if you're a beginner, if you want to just do the normal strat, just hold right. Don't worry about the time travel powers. They will be cancelled at the end of this. You'll just run into a wall just perfectly. You'll just hold right. It'll just happen. Don't worry about it. But if you're going to do the time travel stat, we're going to have to do things differently. So here, once you fall off this ledge, hold down. We're gonna roll to slow down, because if we keep on running and then try to time travel, we just will still run into the wall at the end. So we need to slow down somehow. So instead of like holding left for however many seconds at whatever place, it's much easier to just roll every single time, every single floor. So we'll roll here. As soon as you land past the first checkpoint, you'll just go right over the gap, hold down, roll again, and then one more time. Now, once you see those rings and these spikes on the ceiling here, you should get ready. You should prepare yourself to jump. And this is actually a pretty precise jump. It's not the most precise jump, but it is something that you have to do pretty much on the dot, not on the frame though. So it's this checkpoint. As soon as you're on this checkpoint, as soon as you hear the checkpoint turn, the sound, then jump. So just jump there, and that should just set you up to time travel in exactly the position you need to be. Now, if you miss it, let's see if I can get it. Alright, I wasn't able to show it. I guess I'll have to show it in the map for this stage. I'll do that after showing more of this video. But if you fall down, you can get back up and do this again. These spikes here aren't always there. They actually go up and down, so you can still make this jump and still do these platforms, and it's fine. It's still reasonably fast. You can't actually go back in the past. Like, it would be a bad idea to take this pass and then go back and like, oh, I messed up, might as well just do it in the present. No, you're in the future, deal with it. It's fine. The water's pink is all. So you go over here. You'll jump. Actually, you'll hold. By the way, I forgot to mention. Let's go back because I'm being dumb. You want to hold jump after you time travel. That way you bounce off this ring box. You might land against the ring box, but still on this ledge. But you just want to hope that you land on it. It just depends on where you jump from the checkpoint in the present. But you want to bounce off that ring box, okay? That way you can just skip this whole gap here. And then once you're here, you can just stop against the box here. But a faster way is to just air brake a little, slow down, and then roll through it. It's going to make you bump a little bit. This is one of the weird boxes in the game that don't work the way every other box does. If you jump on it, it's not going to give you a good bounce. If you spin dash on it, it's not going to make you spin dash through it. Instead, you're just going to like bump over it and you'll just plunk into the water. It just will happen. You can't even stop yourself. So instead, we just roll through and then brake and then go back left just a little bit, spin dash, and then jump. You can make this jump otherwise, but you're gonna have to go all the way to the left, jump out. This is just a faster way to gain speed. So spin dash, jump. You'll make this platform, just hold right and jump again. Third platform, don't jump. Third platform, don't jump. Third platform, don't jump. You'll just fall. It's just annoying because it ruins the momentum of the strat, which was stolen by Worcester, by the way. And then you'll land here, then jump again. And since conveniently enough we have another time travel power, we can save just a little bit more time, because otherwise it's fine. We just have to wait for the water to drop to gain more speed. But if we go back in the present, we'll have no water at all, and we can just peel out and beat the stage. Very nice. So good time is 23 seconds. But you're also looking for like 25 seconds up to like maybe 26, 28, I guess. I guess I should, well, first let me show you what happens, what it looks like in the bad future here. So if you plunk in the water here, there's just these spinning platforms. You can just use them and jump up and go over. And then you want to just jump from here. You don't need a spin dash, you can just make this jump normally. But see, this gap is kind of big. You want to spin dash jump that. Or peel out jump, but peel out is going to be kind of risky because of the short amount of space available. Now the problem is if you fall in the water. If you do fall in the water, if say you bounce on this, you won't be able to get back up. The only way to get up here if you fall in this water is to get this spring and then hold left and go up. If you hold right, you're gonna actually just hit that. You won't be able to just make it through. And there's no hidden platforms in the future. You cannot rely on that like you can in the present. So if you're going to do this strat, you have to commit to it. The only other way around is this whole way, which is not what you want at all. So I guess let me just show you what the normal route looks like. Okay, I messed that up a little bit, but it's fine. So long as the top bug is still alive, you can still do the strat as I just shown. So just go here, and well, conveniently enough, this is time attack, so the time post is in there. But I'm just gonna hold right, and then boop, you fall down here, and then you just want to jump around, hit that spring, and then just hold right. And depending on how this goes, you might either land before that red spring or right on top of it. And then you can hit that spring. And then you just peel out. Okay, and that is Tidal Tempest 1. So let's move on to 2, which is not as crazy, but still involves some speed, some time travel threats that are speedy. Okay, so first, let's look at that map. Okay, here we are. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna spin dash. Let's actually zoom out a little bit. You're gonna spin dash and drop. You're gonna avoid this area, You don't need to get in there for any reason. Just spin dash and you'll hit the wall, just drop down, and you'll actually land here. You want to hold right after you pass the first hole in the wall. So drop and hold right, you'll go here. Then we're going to go here, and the normal strat is you just go normally. You don't do any time travel strats, but we'll take a slight detour to get this pass sign for time travel strats. And we get a nice little turnaround, which is pretty cool. Otherwise, you're just going to fall in here and get yourself in there. Or we're going to take this path, not going to go down here or here. We're just going to go up this way. And we're going to go this way. Now, if you're sticking to the normal route, you're going to have a bunch of stuff in your way. You're going to have this destructible bridge, this horizontal moving gate, this destructible bridge, and you're going to have these water jets, which don't slow you down, but they don't allow you to speed up either. And then finally, and worst of all, you have to open this door here. You have to. Now you have two options of going up this, going up here. This is not where you want to go. Instead, go either this way or this way. This way is a little bit harder, just because you're going to want to land on the edge of the ceiling to have the optimal speed to get up to the top. Otherwise, you're going to have to spin dash every time to get up there. Just as a note, the springs are in opposite positions relative to the buttons. This spring is here, this spring is here. Okay? So it's left of the first, right of the second, which makes it a little bit harder to get here, because you'll jump on this switch here and then just move left, whereas here you'll have to slow yourself down after moving off the switch, which is just kind of weird. But if you do the time travel strat, it's going to be a little bit different. Let's see the map for that real quick. Okay. So actually, when we time travel, we're going to end up here. Okay. And we're going to it's the same situation. We are going to try to get this future time post, because just like in Tidal Tempest 1, we can use that to gain just a little bit more time by avoiding something at the end of the stage. It doesn't matter if you miss it, it's fine. But hey, look, there's nothing here at all. Yeah, nice. And the only difference here is actually you want to. There's no switch here. Instead, what you're going to have to use is these pillars here. And actually, this spring here is just visible, but there is an invisible spring here. Now the thing is you want to not move from that tile. You want to just go straight up. I still recommend going this way, even in the time travel strat, just because it's quicker to get here, and it's harder to manage this. When you're here, instead of the water jets, which by the way you'd want to peel out in present, here there's going to be an enemy, which isn't marked, but there'll be an enemy here. And you're actually going to want to use that to damage boost, and I'll explain in more detail once we see that in the video. But then you can just peel out here, and then you'll just take this way, and you'll manage the future time travel through this corridor, and hopefully get it before you hit this crushing wall here. And if you get it, then you can avoid it and just go through. But the most optimal way is actually to hit the bottom of the crusher so that you conserve your speed and then time travel, and then you'll have a really good speed and probably time by the end of the stage. Alright, so let's look at that. So you start off with a spin dash right away. Again, like Tidal Tempest 1, it's a spin dash, not a peel out. You hit the wall. After the first gap, hold right. Here, you jump, you jump onto this downslope. You can run, but it's just going to be quicker to jump on it because you're actually going to jump again to avoid the moving spike ball. Now once you jump over that, hold right until you hit the wall here, then hold left. The water level will start lowering. In the meantime, set up a peel out on top of the water jet shooter. Once the water is level with your feet, with the shooter, with this tile, let go. By the time you land on the ground here, the water will be lower than you. So don't worry about the water slowing you down. But as soon as you land, also jump. Jump, and then you can get this pass time post here. And this is what we need. Now for this nice smooth jump, you're going to want to press left just a little bit. Just a little bit. You don't want to jump immediately and go left. You won't be able to make it. But if you move just a little bit and then jump left, you'll have just that more space to work with. So just a little bit. Jump, and then once you're cleared this ledge here, start holding right. You'll start bending more in the water. Your trajectory will bend more. It'll go like that, and you'll just go right through. So you can jump on the ceiling and then bounce off this enemy, or jump over the enemy, or roll across it, but rolling will be slowest. So just jump, and okay, notice this line in the ceiling here. This is where you're gonna want to start slowing down, if not before. You want to be completely stationary at the bottom of this tile. It will line up with this ledge here, you see. So you can push yourself against that, or just stop completely here. It's easier to do this next spin dash jump from this position, but you know, whatever works. So you'll do a spin dash jump, and this is going to start up the time travel to the past. So this is actually pretty important for the time travel strat, this jump here. So you'll jump, and then if you just hold right, you'll bounce on that enemy, and then you'll go here. Now if you miss the enemy but you still have the time travel power, just go back to the same position and wait for it to rotate its patrolling cycle. It'll eventually go back to anywhere in this area, and you want to again spin dash jump, bounce off it, and get over here. If you kill it though, you will have a much rougher time trying to spin dash jump onto these springs, which is where you need to activate the power. It's not really worth it to activate it later than this, because the other place that you can activate this pass power is actually kind of out of the way. So that's not really, you might as well just stay in the present at this point if you miss it. But anyway, just go up here and you're good. And then we time travel. So you'll land here, just jump. You'll land on this part here, hold right, just a little bit. You don't need to go at full speed, but to get the future time post, you just don't want to go at full speed, just move, and then collect it, jump over, and you'll start falling through this big area here. You should land against this wall here. You can also just try to land against that wall, but that's not as good, because if you land against the first wall, you'll be able to move right more again. But if you land on that wall, you'll actually fall right here. So it's just a slight difference. Now, you want to jump as soon as you land on the floor here, and you want to aim for this tile here, where this pillar is, the second pillar you see underwater. And then just slow yourself down, and you want to keep yourself lined up on that tile. Just clear that. So climbing through this area is very simple. There is one tiny little time save you can do. While moving left, if you immediately tap left and jump, like jump and then hold left, like immediately, not just like slow down, but immediately do it, but while having a decent speed running in this little area, you'll just immediately jump left, and you can bounce off that ring box and then the next. What will happen otherwise is that you'll have to jump over that one or jump on top of both of them. You'll hit that spring, jump right, bounce, bounce, and then damage boost this enemy. Well, it's not really damage boost, but you'll take damage from this enemy to land here, and then start to peel out. If you don't do that, what's going to happen is it's going to do the same animation and run into you now, which will just hurt you and make you lose time, versus just getting positioned sooner, taking advantage of it. So we launch the peel out, jump off this downslope to gain more speed, and you're going to want to avoid this little bump here. It's the fastest way of doing that is hitting the ceiling so that you keep most of your speed. That is a trick in this game, by the way. If you hit ceilings while at any speed really, but especially max speed, you won't slow down in the air like you would do if you just jump normally through the air. Ceilings preserve a lot more of your momentum. So you'll want to jump pretty soon. I actually missed it in the video, but if you jump soon enough, you'll be able to go through this. You'll start time traveling. Even if you end up like dead stopping, the time travel starts slightly before Sonic's final position. Don't worry about this too much because it's really not that huge of a time loss. By the way, if you time travel and this thing crushes you, you'll actually survive it, but you'll understand when that ever happens to you. If it does, it's funny. So basically just land here if you miss that. If you don't miss it, you're going to land down here. Either way, just peel out. If you land here, peel out and jump against the ceiling to keep your speed. And that's Tidal Tempest 2. I keep on trying to call it Time Tempest because that's basically what it is. So that's the best time I've got is a 39 on this stage, but you're looking for like a 45 or anything sub 50. Anything under a minute is definitely what you want. Alright, so next up is the boss and the stuff you have to go through for this stage. Okay, so for this stage, you're going to hit the boss 4 times before the actual fight. So when you start out, again, spin dash. You can also spin dash and jump off the downslope, but you don't have a lot of room to work with here. So you want to jump when you're on this level portion here. Jump and break so you can clear that little square there. You'll run against this wall, hold right. Now you're going to start climbing some steps. And the best way to do that is actually to slow down and make it so that you start your jump off these steps as fast as you can. So it's a little different thinking than otherwise, but it's not really that important to do these that fast. Okay, so for the first hit here, you're going to want to get as close as you can before rolling into him, like as close as you can get. And what they'll do is it will prevent you from bouncing, so instead you're just gonna like go back into the running animation, and then you can just fall off and you'll be like inside of his sprite, and you can get that second hit fairly easily. Now here's an option. I just run and jump off the ceiling and then go forward, but you can also spin dash and then jump over here and just save a little bit more time to get to the next area. So there we go. And your third hit should be somewhere in this zone. And once you get that third hit, hold left while holding your jump button so you bounce off that ring box. And again, there's another option here. You can try to go straight into this hole here and immediately get the fourth hit, or you can land here and then jump off, or land here and then roll off, which is what I do. And then you get the fourth hit. So you want to stay on the tile second from the right or third from the left. This tile here, this like 1, 2, 3, 4, because there's a hole here and you'll just drop right in. Now we need this invincibility box here. This is one of the few times where we need to keep invincibility rather than speed shoes. So what you want to do is you want to hit it, but actually the better way is not to roll into it, but to jump on it and then move right from hitting the wall or from basically where you were, because you want to actually slow down So you'll just hold right from here, you'll pass this corner just barely, and then you'll land here, and by holding right, you'll just be set up to land on top of that door opening. So let me just show that again real quick. Actually, let me show the whole beginning of the stage real quick. Alright, it's okay if you don't get that gate. I don't know, I don't have a name for it, just like that gate step, just stepping on the opening door. You'll probably fall down here, is what would happen otherwise, or you'll stop here, and then you just jump through. It won't waste that much time, comparatively. Now here, you want to jump against the ceiling here. It'll just make you fall down the hole faster, because otherwise you have to stop. You'll just like, by this you'll just jump like that, versus running and then hitting the wall like here, versus like down here. And then as soon as you land, this is important. By the way, when you have invincibility, you want to get into the boss area, the actual boss arena proper, as soon as you can. So as soon as you land here, spin dash. Don't peel out, spin dash. Peeling out underwater is super slow. Running is super slow, spin dash. You'll keep spin dash speed as normal. Okay. Now for this fight, you might want to invent your own method for this, but I'll explain to you my method. Basically what we want to do is we want to break open his bubble armor here, his circle, his ring of bubbles, and we want to pop open 2 bubbles and then quickly jump between them to take the first hit that we possibly can on the ship. And it will only take 1 hit of damage to be destroyed, to be defeated. So what I do is I position myself here, and this position is important. You want Sonic to be centered halfway, give or take a few pixels. Don't worry about the pixels so much. You want him to basically be standing halfway right here. That's basically the center of the screen, but in terms of visual cues, and this is only for standard definition. For widescreen it's different. For this, there's a second rectangular tile here on the floor. You want to stand on the left edge of it. So 1, 2, left. 1, 2, left. And this is where you want to be. Okay, that's where you want to start out. But we have another visual cue that we're going to need to do. And it's going to come up very quickly. But basically, regardless of what position you take, what you want to do is you want to jump right twice and then jump left once. So that'll be jump right, jump left. And as he dives towards you, it's going to happen very quickly, so you have to be prepared for it. You're going to have to practice this quite a lot. Once you get it though, it's pretty consistent. But that's what you have to do. So to show you the visual cue and how it works, for me, these bubbles are going to expand, and they're going to expand outwards. So there's the one headlight, you can see one headlight of the Egomatic here. And then you see the second headlight. Basically, once it starts touching the third headlight, that's when you start going. That's when you jump right. You'll hit the first bubble, and it'll send you down very quickly. As soon as you're on the ground, jump right again immediately. And again, it'll be very quick. Then jump left. And it's very quick, so it's something that you have to get the tactile feel for. It's a very nifty feel, actually. And then you'll kill him. And that's it. Let me show that one more time. Okay. And one last thing, actually 2 last things. When he's about to leave the screen, slightly before he leaves the screen, jump and hold right. That way, when the camera starts moving, you'll land on that ledge there. It'll just save just that much time. Start to peel out as soon as you can, and when you let go, you want to jump after the third pillar. That's where the castle will be. So 1, 2, 3, and then jump. And so for this stage, in terms of times, you're looking for like a mid 40. 43 is pretty much my best. I could possibly get a 42, maybe a 41 if everything before the fight was perfect. But for you, just try to aim for sub 50. And by the way, if you miss the quick kill for this fight, it's gonna take 20 seconds to destroy him normally. If you just pop all of his bubbles and aim for a hit. Just as an addendum, if you do miss the quick kill, you can try to get it by getting hit by his spread shots, and he'll dive at you if you get hit by his shots there. And then you can try to do it, but he'll be shooting you again when he dives at you, so it's not very easy to improvise. But it's a 20-second loss if you don't get it. That's 20 seconds. That's a pretty big time loss if you miss it. It's just another thing that you need to learn eventually. I learn it sooner than later. Definitely practice it. This boss is kind of slow otherwise, and it's one of the few bosses that you actually have strats on. Every other boss pretty much destroys itself. So again, Tidal Tempest 1, you're going to focus on getting that slope and then bouncing off the enemy and getting on top of the stage. So practice that, please. And then from there, it's very simple. For normal strats, just hold right pretty much and just take the springs, so they will pretty much be lined up for you. If you do the time travel strat, just remember to roll down the whole raceway. Let me just actually show the map to help in this recap. So make sure you're rolling if you're doing time travel strat, and jump at the time post. Jump at the time post. If you're doing normal, it's fine. Just drop. Go down here, whatever. And then once you're in the future, whoops, there it is. Once you're in the future, hold jump so you bounce off the spring, or the ring box. Pretty much acts like a tiny spring. Then spin dash jump after the invincibility box is destroyed. So you want to destroy the invincibility box before you spin dash jump. So bounce off the ring box, take care of the invincibility box. Do not treat it very carefully. This is a dangerous item here. And don't fall. Do not fall in the water. But just spin dash jump, and then jump again, and then on the third platform, don't jump. But do jump after that. And then you should be good. That's Tidal Tempest 1. But for Tidal Tempest 2, this is a pass. But what you want to do is, well, basically just follow the route. Make sure when you go, you take the first possible actual path, not the hole in the wall, the first one. Let's actually get to the proper map. So that means you'll spin dash here, you'll drop down, and you'll land, and by holding right, you'll land here. So avoid that. And then just keep on going right. Take the upper path when you have the split, and then take either of the two paths that lead up once you fall. And then when you're on top, peel out if you can up here. If not, it's fine. Here, you can also spin dash off the gate, I forgot to mention. But just, it pretty much plays itself once you're up here. And if you're doing the time travel strat, then you're going to want to do this spin dash jump right. It's not that hard, just spin dash jump off the enemy and land on the spring. And then you also have the option of peeling out here in the time travel strat, peeling out here, jumping off the downslope, and then jumping over the bump, and then jumping past the crusher. And again, for the boss fight, let's see if I can, yes. For the boss fight, you want to roll into him as late as possible. For the first hit, you want to hit the ring box on after the third hit, which should be here. So that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, and then 4. The fourth hit will be here. And if you, I didn't mention, but if you manage to avoid hitting him, like say you fall off without being in the ball form, and you like take damage, it's a long fall, and you have to wait like 5-6 seconds for Robotnik to slowly meander his way down before you can hit him. And once you get invincibility, go as fast as you can to the boss arena, as fast as you can, and then set yourself up right here. And that's a jump right, and then a jump left. Okay. Alright. So, thank you for watching. That's Tidal Tempest. A bunch of crazy stuff. Every single stage has a bunch of technical strats involved. You have some options for each stage, but the main thing is you need to get the slope jump on Tidal Tempest 1, and you need to get the quick boss fight for Tidal Tempest 3. These are going to be the biggest time saves, especially as a beginner. This will very much bring you into quicker times. You need to learn them if you're gonna get at this game. But good luck to you. It should not be that hard to learn. It's just something that you're gonna have to find the right feel for yourself. But once you get it, it's just a matter of getting it a few more times until you know what works for you and then what doesn't work. So that's it, and I'll see you in Court Squadron, or maybe some other level. Who knows? Happy running.